What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Friday night run-throughs, meaning your favorite screamers, favorite nerd. And today we are looking at the Takara Tomy Starscream version 3.0. I have to first and foremost shout out Scott M. He bought this for me as a gift. Actually, I think he just double booked and then forgot about it and then decided to gift it to me. Either way, I'm taking it as he was just thinking of me and gave it as a gift. I wasn't going to buy this. I didn't have any interest in buying this. I did want to take a look at it, so I'm happy to do so now. And I'm super grateful and almost uncomfortably grateful. Like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve gifts like this. I appreciate it, but I don't know. I'm not good at receiving gifts, maybe. But I want to make sure that I thank him, let him know that I appreciate him. And he was like, look, you don't want it? Sell it. Like, he's, you know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't have. He really, really shouldn't have. Either way, he did. So thank you to him, and we're going to take a look at him. There's a lot of hubbub. People seem to be pretty split on him. I'm going to see how I feel about him, but in order to know how I feel about him, we collectively have to look at accessories. He comes with the flight stand. I think this is the same one that we've seen used with like Beast Wars stuff. It's made up of 3 pieces. These 2 pieces that interlock here in these channels, and then this piece that plugs in on top. You can use this piece to adjust the height, and then you can use this piece to maneuver it up, down, or side to side. And it also comes with an adapter. Now, this adapter will slide onto here, but more importantly, it'll plug into the bottom of Starscream. And it's not the greatest fit, but let's say it fit better, and then you can just insert it onto there, and you can kind of have him doing anything you so desire, flying side to side. A little loose, but yeah, ooh. Yeah, I'm not crazy about this. It's a nice idea. God bless. But yeah, I mean, I guess you'd have to tighten it. There's screws here, and maybe you could tighten it to make it better, but like if you just get it off center, oh, that now it's holding it. Oh, if you get it off center, like you see it just tips. So it does pretty good on the frontward motion. On the rear, no good. And who's gonna have him like that? You know what I mean? People are gonna want him in the middle. Yeah, that's a bummer. Maybe you can tighten it and fix it. I'll try real quick. So I just tightened it. No dice on mine. Stupid. That same adapter will plug into his back in the same spot in robot mode, and then you can use it that way as well. Unfortunately, though, it's like it's kind of pointless because, like, it's too high up. You know what I mean? So like you get it here, but it's like, well, you might as well be walking. But there is some issues in regards to him walking, so maybe that was done on purpose. And maybe I'm missing something here. I can't find it in the instructions. There's a small space here where a screw goes, but it doesn't seem to kind of fit this spot properly anyway. So you know what I mean? I think you're out of luck. He comes with 5 extra faces. We have the smirking face, which is really nice. And then we have a slight smile, like a subtle smile face. We have the super happy face, super unhappy face, and then the, come on, man, the so to speak face. The you better not put this on your finger face. What are they doing with this one? Come on! Doofy. They shouldn't have, it's stupid. But yeah, it comes with that, the O face. Comes with his O face as well. He comes with the Megatron Pistol. Once again, like little things. I guess it's better for the handle that you can, for the hands, the way that they made them. But like, the trigger guard is like open, which seems like a poor choice. The paint is beautiful, even has the Decepticon symbol there. The paint is beautiful and the sculpt is beautiful. But yeah, I'm not entirely happy about this in terms of that bit there. Maybe once he's holding it, it won't make a difference, but ugh. That'll peg into the bottom in jet mode. So he will hold Megatron's gun. As you can see, I got the finger in there, and they had to break that guard for this finger to fit, but it's still not the best connection in his hand anyway. So to me, that's just, it's not the best design in my opinion in that regard. It just doesn't work as it should, but he can hold it. He comes with 2 null rays. As you can see, this is the way they look. They have massive pins to the center, which I'm also not crazy about, but they're there. And they are painted, which is nice, and they're sculpted well enough. And then I'm guessing, yeah, so this flips up, this flips over, and then you can shorten it to kind of look right for the for jet mode, which is a nice touch. Now, you can peg these in to here, into the side piece here. But I think there's even a way, yeah, so then you extend this back and then you can peg it in to the wing as well. However, that to me starts to look a little ugly and kind of busy, and you don't really need it. You can just kind of tuck that into the side and collapse all this stuff back and just plug it straight into the wing and you'll be fine. This looks much better to me. Those will peg in here to the side of his arm. He can also hold them, but you need to have this piece kind of sitting towards the front, at least in my experience. And it'll tab in fairly well. Not the greatest, honestly, but it will go if you mess with it a fair bit, but not the most secure connection. You get an array of blast effects. This kind of bubble one, the more explosion, and then the kind of, I think, the one that we kind of think of when we think of him. And they're all translucent purple plastic, and they'll all peg into the null ray if it's extended. They'll also peg into Megatron and gun mode, which is a nice and thoughtful touch. While we're on the topic of these purple translucent pieces, he does come with two sort of thruster effects. Once again, the purple translucent over top of a clear translucent, as it were. And they'll peg into the thrusters of the jet. He comes with two swap out hand options. One is the drill, painted in a beautiful metallic gunmetal paint and decent enough sculpt. And then the other is this little claw that is on a hinge and will open and close, once again fully painted. When you have his hand tucked in inside of his forearm, you can have the drill attached to the peg here, but it's not the best fit, but it'll go and that'll work. And the same can be said for the claw. He also comes with that thing from that episode, this little piece of you know what I want to say. It's fully painted and it's a thing. And he can hold the rock with the claw or with his hand, obviously. And now we can look at jet mode, and it's pretty well done. The colors are beautiful. The paint is beautiful. It's fully painted, so there's no issue there. There are some off-putting things to me, just at a quick glance. These different color reds are off-putting to me, especially from the profile. A lot of this underneath doesn't clean up as well as I would expect it to. But that's kind of been par for the course with them recently, that things haven't always cleaned up beautifully. You know, for one sacrifice for another, I suppose. I love all the sculpted detail work in the jet, a very realistic look as opposed to the super cartoon look, which I do appreciate. The cockpit does open, the seat is painted, and that's it. No kind of sculpted controls or anything, but the cockpit does open and close, has that orange translucent. And it has landing gear. It'll roll. And they'll stow away by opening that flap, tucking it in and closing. These are a bit more of a pain. You open this up, you got to get it past this like point. I'll try to show, like, it's a pain when you're, especially when you're going to get them out. So like you get here and it doesn't feel like it wants to go any further. In fact, it feels like you're gonna break it. So you just push beyond that and it will go, but that's just poor build right there. And then these will all close up, you know, which is nice enough. We have these flaps, they'll kind of go up and down a taste. I feel like these move around a bit more than they should. You can do the nose cone thing, open that up and show that. It's like the sonar or something, I don't know. What am I? Air and Space Museum. And then the thrusters move on the back. Did we show that? I guess these open up as well. Is that a thing? I don't know. Let's see what else. Anything else to talk about? I don't think so. You know, these open up, but that's more of a robot mode thing. But they do open up. Yeah, I mean, I like the little breakup in gray here. The red and white looks beautifully painted, like sharp, clean. It's well done. I feel like this red is just a huge misstep. Like, it doesn't look like this red at all, which is a bummer. But yeah, otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. There's a number of things about it that aren't super solid to me. Like this wing keeps popping up open on mine. Some of these wings, like here in the back, have a tendency to kind of come untabbed. This bit here in the front has a kind of tendency to come untabbed. I don't really like this either. But I think overall, I think it looks really good. I mean, this is an expensive piece, right? So we got to kind of be critical of it for being that expensive. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. It's no Tiger Tracks, though, I'll tell you that much, am I right? But there he is next to Tiger Tracks. All right, so let's get him transformed. Lift up these hip skirts, and these wings here clip in on top here. Just untab them, and then bring the legs down, and you want to open up this panel, bring the foot down, and bring the shin out, and then bring that whole piece down. Now at this point I get 8 up, but this piece rotates around, and it's how this goes. So this slides down on this tab, and then it spins, and I can't keep track of which way it's supposed to go. But you just had to figure out a way. Maybe that looks, nope. You had to figure out a way where it's gonna tuck up inside of there. That looks pretty good. And it has to tab into the shin and also into the back of the heel. So one good turn deserves another, right? Let's do it one more again. So open up this and bring the foot down. Tab it in, bring the shin out, release it and drag it down. Take this piece, spin at this joint, and once you're here, move your one fin down, and then just find the only way that it will work, which is not that way. There, that looks good. Yeah, and then that goes into the shin, and it also tabs into the back of the heel, and there's your feet. And then it has this thing too, like the Robotech thing. I'm not doing it because I don't care, but it can do it. Matter of fact, in the words of Batman, evidence. All right, chances are by the time you get to this point, most of this is going to be undone anyway. If it's not, it's just tabbed in under here. Start pulling it apart and moving these pieces out of the way. You also break right here at the nose cone, and that will allow you to get this piece down. You can just get that completely out of there as well. And we're going to get these arms out. So straighten them out. This comes around and forms the back of the bicep. On both sides. This piece here forms the back of the bicep. And then get the arms, flip them out here at this red piece, so kind of up. And actually you can just open them all the way because we got a lot to do in here. Take your wing and fold it down towards the bottom so that it kind of reveals this green tab, or gray and green, right? They're two different colors, and 5-year-olds know that, and I should too. So get it there. You want to fold this piece up, and this piece I think comes around, and then that tabs in there. I'll tell you, it's not an easy connection, but the whole thing is going to tab into this piece, but I got to get his head out of the way. And it is jammed in there. There. And fold that. And now I can use this to tab that in. And tab the gray piece in. Awesome. So we're gonna do that again. If you're wondering which way to turn the wing, you know that you need to reveal that massive gray peg. This can fold in. And that folds around. And we need to get this panel out and this panel down. And then we can peg that in and then the gray piece in. There-ish. So now we need to get this part all done, and it's kind of a pain, man. So like, if you take this and you spin the nose cone 180 so that it's off center and doesn't move smoothly, by the way, and you bend this part back towards there, you also have to like separate all of this in order to collapse your chair here and sort of like basically shrink the profile. And then take all of it and sort of get it up into the chest cavity there. Then you can take this portion, accordion that up, and that'll plug into the back of it. And then this piece comes around and covers down that side of it. And I don't have it 100% right, but there. And that's it. I feel like it's them trying to be fancy, but it really does feel clunky and clumsy. And then to finish off, open this up, and this is all details and stuff that are put inside of there, which is cool enough. I think that's pretty cool. Tuck these flaps in, spin the blue wing 180 degrees, and then spin the whole thing down, and then tab this into the blue wing. And we're gonna do that times duh. Same here, flap, flap. Doesn't feel great. Spin, bring down. Once that's sitting in position, this will come up and tab into it. And now we're pretty much left at a cleanup phase. So you can put the arms back together as a butterfly joint, so it's fine. Open up here, flip the fist out, close it back up, put the fist in a position that makes anatomic sense. Same on this side, fist out, anatomic sense. This sits back. Oh boy, what have I got there? And plugs in there. And same on this side. And kneecaps up. Let's see what else is there. I feel like there's something else. Oh well, I'll clean it up. We'll take a look at it. If I missed a step, I'll let you know. So let's talk about the figure. First and foremost, it seems to be fully painted and really quite well done. It's all like a matte, maybe like a satin in some place, but like not metallic, but not bad. Just kind of a little dull, but all painted so beautiful. It does look good in that regard. There is some metallic paint on the face. We'll get in a little tight there, so to speak. I feel like this head is off, man. I know you hate to hear it. I hate to say it, but I have to be true to thyself, and I feel like this head sculpt is off. I think it'll probably be better with one of the alternate faces, but like this head seems really big to me, so to speak, especially like the proportions. It's a proportion issue again, and it's hard, and the secret just must be hard, but like I feel like this part is too small. this part is too big in comparison, but then the head is too big. It's like, I'm sorry, I'm not crazy about that. Now, articulation-wise, no problem. And the red metallic stuff on the eyes and face look great. You can get the head all the way up. You can get it fairly far down, and then you can even pull out here if you want to, like, cheat for, like, a picture. You know what I mean? Like, how does it feel, Mighty Megatron? You know, how do you feel, Mighty Megatron? Like, that would work. You get a swivel. And it's a ball peg here, so you even get a little bit of a tilt, which is nice. There's something off about it, though, man. Do you see it? Am I crazy? I feel like there's something off about it. I don't know. Okay. Shoulders. You get out to 90 degrees on this universal joint, but where it's pinned in here, you get an additional 90 degrees so you can get the arms all the way up. Perfect. It also hinges outward for a butterfly joint, which is gonna let you get, I mean, you know, pretty much like crossed arms and stuff, like if you spend some time on it, which is pretty impressive. No complaints there. All right. Let's see what else we have. And then you get a soft ratchet swivel around. Bicep swivel. You get basically a double hinged elbow, but it's really the bicep and the elbow. But for what it's worth, I mean, not only is that okay to me, but also just this single hinge gets you past 90 degrees. So either way, it's okay. Wrist swivel, hinge in, out. No real up, down, but that's fine. Close that. We've already talked about that. All right, and then the fingers are individually articulated at the primary. They're pinned at the primary and secondary knuckles for the fingers, and then for the thumb, you have a primary hinge and a secondary hinge as well. So that's okay. The fingers are bent there at the end, so you kind of have tight rider hands, but it's not the worst because the angle isn't crazy, so I think all in all, it's forgivable. Waist. You get an ab crunch, which is nice. But, like, no waist swivel? That can't be right. Not great. Hip skirts. Up. Over. For universals, they're tensioned. Well, actually, this one's tensioned. This one's ratcheted. Out to the side for the full Van Damme. This one's ratcheted forward and back, as is this one for, close enough for the full Monty. I say we give it to him. Thigh swivel built around the universal. That works fairly well. And the knees are on a soft ratchet, and it's a weak ratchet. But you get past 90 degrees, so that's nice. This piece on mine just keeps flopping down. So, good thing he has his body for it to lean up against, I suppose. All right, ankle tilt up, a little bit down, and a rocker. But guess what? My ankles are mad loose. So, like, let's stand them up straight. Oh, smooth criminal. In many ways, he is the smooth criminal of Cybertron. So, I mean, that's not great, dude. You know, it's like, that's where it tabs in. So it's tabbed in. What if I... Oh, I wonder if you do this? Is that how it's supposed to? Let me do it on this side, too. Is that supposed to be out? No, because it doesn't help it from moving forward. They're just weak. Oh, dude. Size comparisons. Oh, no, you know what? Here he is from the back. So, pretty clean. So there he is with the older MP mold, and I mean, as you can see, much more streamlined, much more kind of cleaned up and focused as a figure, whereas this is a little bit more bulky and a little bit more messy. Stands better. As you can see, I gotta have him in a little bit of a wonky pose in order to get him to stand, but definitely cleaner. And there it is with the Make Toys offering, which we are definitely going to do a versus of, hopefully for this week. So, yeah, interesting. I can tell you, regardless of who wins the versus, this is not going to be the Starscream in my MP collection. I might find a place from somewhere else out of the appreciation of the generosity of a viewer, but no, he's out of here. And I will not be getting the Skywarp nor the Thundercracker. And I'll tell you why in the final thoughts. Final thoughts wise, let's start with the negatives. First and foremost, the proportions. So I think I've talked in the past, I'm okay with smaller upper body proportions in relation to larger lower body proportions because it does give the illusion of a larger than life kind of figure. The problem is that the head matches the lower body proportions and the chest matches its own proportions. And so as a result, the head seems to be disproportionate. That's what it is. I had to go back and watch the footage again to try to figure out what I was talking about. That's it. It does seem to scale naturally smaller towards the top, which looks cool to me, and I appreciate when they do that. However, the head doesn't match up, so the head looks too big, and the Make Toys one looks too small. So it's just a case I can't get right. My second big complaint, super objective complaint, at least into the one that I have, is this build is garbage. My ankles are floppy, the ratchets in the knees don't hold very well, the ratchets in the hips are inconsistent, one's an entirely different set than the other. Certain pieces are just kind of like, if left to their own devices, are just flapping around. And like, you know, if this was like some third party made in a garage kit kind of thing, I would be fine with it. But this isn't. This is Takara Tomy. It's supposed to be the standard, and you and I both know that it hasn't been the standard in some time. Sorry, his knees won't hold that position very long if I have him in certain poses. But you and I both know that Takara hasn't held that position, at least in the fandom as far as I'm concerned, for a very long time. But if nothing else, this is only a wax seal on the deal. I'm sure that some are going to be built better than others. I'm sure that some have had better luck than I have had. That's probably par for the course in both our regular lives and our collecting. But I say that to say this. This is unacceptable. It's unacceptable for the price. It's unacceptable for the company. $250 or something like that, right? Domestically? You must be insane. And there's no waist swivel. How long has this company had? Since MP11? How long has this been since MP11? 6, 7 years? I don't know. Somewhere like that, right? And they can't figure it out? How to give the thing a waist swivel? Come on, dude. And if you like it, you win, of course. But I lost somehow and I didn't even buy it. Also, there's issues with the accessories. Tolerance issues, functionality issues, specifically in relation to the stand. Also, the fact that they give you all of those purple effects pieces like this, but they don't give you 2 of each, so it can't match. They have to be doing different things. Doesn't hold Megatron's gun, at least mine, properly, nor does he hold the null ray properly. I have tolerance issues with the drill, and I know the gray might be more color accurate, but it does seem a little too dark to me. That's nitpicking, but now I'm just in a bag where I just kind of want to tear this thing apart. The transformation is interesting, but it's also clumsy, and it feels like it's trying to be like so impressive and look what they do, how interesting. And while it may be objectively interesting, it's not smooth. It's clumsy. Like, you see where it comes down here. The problem is that like there's nothing, if there was something to push this back and keep this back where the knee is, but like, you see? And that's even if this ratchet holds. Oftentimes the weight of the upper body will push that ratchet in even further, and then it's really goodnight moon. She been hit by a smooth criminal. Like, it's nuts. It's such an expensive figure, man. And like, it shouldn't have those type of issues, in my opinion. It doesn't mean it's not without its positives, but they're really hard to see given how much this costs and all the issues it has, in my opinion. But it's painted well, not flashy, but well. The shoulder articulation is outstanding. The ab crunch is outstanding. The amount of alternate face sculpts are great to have. And certain components of the transformation, namely the lower legs, are impressive and do work surprisingly well. And that's all I got. I can understand if you want this because it's super cartoon accurate. This is G1 to a fault for me. But if you want this because it's super cartoon accurate, I think that you will be okay. But if there's any bit of you that's like, I don't know, and the price seems a little bit much, I would see what other options are available at a better price, because I don't feel like this is worth what it's asking, and I probably wouldn't even pay half. I wouldn't swap mine out. But who knows, it might be objectively better in terms of how you rank things on Saturday. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm not a fan, man. Sorry. Wish I was. Hate to say it. But special thanks to Scott, man. I always feel bad not only getting stuff like this, but also then not liking it. But I think the argument there is that if I didn't, or if I wasn't that person, he probably wouldn't have sent it to me in the first place. So thank you anyway. And thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.